Greetings, all! Today, we will be examining the relatively rare grass-type Pokemon Carnivine, the Bug Catcher Pokémon. Freakish as they may look to most, Carnivine are still nobly effective predators that can make short work of almost any small insectoid that dares to get too close to their mouth.
Carnivine have bright green leafy bodies with long three-pointed dark green leaves that act as arms and hands for them, a rounded semi-ribbed yellow plant bulb for a torso, and a series of light green, dark green, and red tendrils that extend down towards the ground that uses both feet and attachment points when hunting. Their head has a series of smaller leaves rimming the back of their head, with the head itself taking on the form of a Venus flytrap, with green speckle markings, big pinprick black eyes, and a large toothy maw with red interior.
Carnivine are strange plants, believed to be closely related to the traditional Venus flytrap, but take their relatives' carnivorous tendencies to a whole new level of dominance and ferocity in the plant world.
Unlike most plant-based Pokemon, Carnivine are not able to utilize special attacks very well, and instead rely on their long, whip-like roots and razor-sharp leaves to deal damage from afar, particularly favoring Vine Whip and Power Whip attacks above all else. In close quarters, however, Carnivine will rarely ever resort to attacking with anything other than their huge mouth, which is lined on the outside by razor-sharp edges that can cut through soft flesh fairly easily. Aside from making Carnivine the only biologically pure plant-based organisms capable of utilizing the bite and crunch attacks, this can prove to be an exceptional danger to unarmored opponents because of the sheer strength of which the Carnivine can actually bite down, making them a decent threat in many intermediate-level battles. It is further noted that the Carnivine are wholly unique among grass types in that they're the only species of their type that can actually possess the levitate ability. It has been debated for some time as to the exact cause for this, but it is now widely believed that Carnivine have naturally developed the ability to convert the bioelectric energy within their cells into an electromagnetic field that enables their frame to be lifted off the ground enough to avoid ground-type attacks. Though this is likely just a coincidence and was probably initially developed as a way of allowing them to more easily attack and devour more mobile prey in the wild. As far as the stats go though, they are notably weaker than many other fully evolved grass-type Pokemon, and thus do not have much in the way to show in combat expertise. But the base attack and special attack stats are above average for a fully evolved Pokemon of their type, so they can at least deliver some punishing blows in battle when and if the opportunity presents itself. Carnivine rarely ever walk on the ground, and instead prefer to hang from tree branches, using their lower roots to bind their bodies to tree branches and hang upside down. This is generally done because although they might be strong enough to deliver devastating Vine Whip and Power Whip attacks, these roots are fairly sensitive and can only walk on soft muddy ground without making Carnivine at least somewhat uncomfortable. While hanging upside down, Carnivine release a sweet scent from the inside of their mouths, which can be opened an entire 180 degrees without tearing any connective tissue, and simply wait for something to enter their mouth. To protect themselves against accidentally chomping down on a piece of debris or a leaf, Carnivine share with their flytrap relatives a series of fine sensory hairs on the inside of their mouth that are designed to alert Carnivine to the presence of an actual living creature. When enough of these sensory hairs are triggered, it activates an involuntary muscle reflex that causes Carnivine to bite down hard, severely injuring or even squashing their prey in a single strike. Once the prey has been killed either by the initial strike or through additional biting attacks, Carnivine release a powerful digestive enzyme into their mouth and let it dissolve the meal slowly. It takes Carnivine an entire day to digest and process a single meal, but once they are finished, they merely spit out the indigestible hard body parts like exoskeleton pieces and bone before perching once again and continuing the hunting spree.
These crazy plants are one heck of an oddity and can be both a pain and fascinating specimens to work with if you're out and about in the world. These invasive plants tend to stay out of sight of others so they can properly set up their traps for food, attacking fiercely with their sharp teeth and jaws and leaving little for others to discover once they've had a filling meal. On the one hand, this makes them efficient predators that can really make short work of smaller prey, but it also makes them a bit creepy and likely to get attached to those they deem to be good protectors while they do their thing. This in turn can make these voracious plants a bit of a handful for some to deal with, but at the very least, they have plenty of power behind them to make at least somewhat of an impact, so they can be a good addition to any team if you need a quirky grass type to fill a niche offensive role.
While they might be a bit too quirky for some to work with, Carnivine are nonetheless energetic creatures that can deliver some nasty bites to anything that fools around near them. Thankfully, they tend to be rather friendly and easy to get along with, so if needed, raising them isn't a huge effort, and they can make for great companions if you're into the wilder side of nature.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you feed them often if you want to keep on the good side. Otherwise, they might vanish when you least expect it, only to wait in hiding and give you a heck of a nibble when you get too close to their voracious forms.
Thank you for watching this video. It brings me great joy to be able to speak to you all in the world each and every time we meet like this, to explore the many different facets of both the world of Pokemon as we know it, and the world as we live it, through every adventure we have with Pokemon by our side. If you'd like to, please subscribe, ring the bell and all that jazz, to keep yourself updated on content uploads and other materials of the like. You can also follow me on Twitter if you'd like to know right away when something new is uploaded, and my written works, from which most of this is based on, can be found on DeviantArt. Links to both can be found in the description down below. Remember that the world of Pokemon is a place full of wonder and mystery, and you never know what to expect. So, stay vigilant, keep watch, and always be prepared for the unexpected. Until next time, trainers and friends of all sorts, have a wonderful time.